G'day, my name's Pete, and today I'm working on a big tree that I've had up the backyard. I'm going to cut it up into a couple of smaller trees, and that's going to be it for the video. But anyway, we'll get into it and we'll show you what we got and see what you think. Okay, so this is what I'm working on. As you can see, it's quite big. I'll just give it a little bit of a spin. It's a bit hard to manoeuvre, it's quite big. But I'll just give it a little bit of a spin like that. Now, there are a few spots where I think there might be a nice tree in the design of what's here. But I'm not going to be taking everything. A lot of it's going to go in the bin. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this as a tree. It's going to be stripped down to nothing and wait for all new growth to come up on it. Now, and I'm also thinking of this being a tree. If I cut it in here and I have this as a tree, and of course, and then once I get it cut, I'll decide what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of in its final design. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Right, so I believe that's done. There we go. Alright, just pull this aside a bit. Now it's smaller, it's a bit lighter and a bit easier for me to manage. Still big though. Okay, so I'll spin it around like this as well. I'm thinking, right, so I want this as a tree, but I think we'll get rid of that and we'll turn that into a tree on its own. So we're going to cut through that now. Right, so we'll just go through there. Okay, there we go. I reckon that could be a nice little tree. Possibly. The only problem with it is that the whole lot of it is all the same thickness, and for a bonsai you need it going from thick to thin. But having said that, doesn't mean you can't turn that into a bonsai anyway. Plus, with the growth that you have on it, it might end up being might turn out nice, might help thicken the trunk with the right branches in the right spots. Okay, now I think I'm going to cut it through here. This bit here might be alright for a tree, but I've broken this bit here, pulling it up from out the back, so that's probably all going to go. But I will cut it through about there, and then that way I can sort of get some growth growing here to have it as, you know, as something. So we'll cut through that. About there. Okay. So there we go. Right. Right, so that's what I'm left with, which, you know, possibly could be a nice tree. Cut some of it back, see what happens. Maybe even, you know, maybe I could cut it and use that bit. Just got to think about it before I do it for a while. You know, you got to let all these cuts have got to dry off before you can do anything. Before you can repot it, you got to let these harden off. So I'll be doing that as well. But now, there we go. That is now a little tree on its own. I think I'll cut through this on an angle because I don't know. I like to try and make it look like it's tapered. So if I cut it through an angle, then it looks like it's going thick to thin more. So just trying to think about, because I really like this scarring on here. I think it looks good. So I don't know if I want to mess with that scarring. So I'm deciding whether to cut it on this side, cut it through on an angle on this side. But I'm just thinking about it before I do it. I don't like this little ridge here, so I'm thinking I will cut it down this way. So we'll do that. We'll give that a trim. Sit up. Go away. I'm showing. Okay. Yeah, it gives it a bit more taper to the tree. So I'm pretty well all I'm going to do to this, I think, now. Just let it go, see what happens. One good thing about this one, you know, is the fact that it's still got all its roots on this piece. So, you know, it should start getting new growth quicker than these things, obviously. But yeah, there you go. There's my first little tree. Nice size tree. I'll put it aside. I had someone comment on my last video about how they saw the potential of all the pieces, and and I just threw them away. As I said to him, if you watch my video on my 20-year-old tree, I did a bonus clip of all the jade I've got up the back of the yard waiting to be worked on. It's going to keep me busy for a fair while anyway. And once I start getting low then I can start worrying about taking pieces and turning them into trees. Right, now this one here is another huge piece. For starters, you can't have a branch that's low, since now this is the base and where the roots are going to be growing. This branch here is going to be too low, so that one can definitely go. So we'll get rid of that. Alright, there you go. Maybe I can get another tree out of there, but I'm not sure. I'll leave it aside for the minute and I'll think about it. I'm just going for the best pieces, the most obvious trees that I can get out of it for starters, and these are it. So this is looking pretty good. I think I can shrink this one down, so I'll shrink it down here, cut it through here. Because of the thickness of the trunk now on this part, we don't want it too big. So I reckon cutting it through here might be a good idea. So we'll do that. We'll cut that through there now. Right, now from that, again, there could be another little tree in that. So we'll put it aside for the minute, think about it, while we deal with the obvious one. I'll pick it up a bit. Oh, maybe I won't. I might just trim that down a bit further too. Now, so I'm thinking about trimming this down, and I'm looking at this and thinking, if I cut it here, maybe I can turn this into like a twin trunk tree, maybe. So I'm thinking of cutting it down here to turn that into its own little tree, possibly. There. I think that's good enough to do, I think. I don't think I can do anything with it. It's all getting too big for that part of the tree. So, yep, we'll do that. We'll cut that through now. And I reckon if I cut it about there. About there. There's that. Okay, there you go. And maybe a twin trunk tree out of that. Now let's have a look what we got left of this one. Now I might just I'll just get my table. That up there. Make sure the camera's on that. There we go. Okay, so now let's have a look at this. And we'll decide what we're going to do with it now. So looking at it, I sort of like it coming up and this branch here. I like that. It's sort of growing in towards this the trunk a bit, so it might not be. But we can sort of like try and bend it outwards that way. I don't know what will be the front of the tree at the moment. But I think, yeah, if we bend that out, or we can, or we'll have that bend that way, and then this one here, this one's got a bit of a bend, and we'll cut them back and just keep it small as another branch, another pad of growth, and that one can come off at the bottom there. I think that might be all right. And this one at the back here is straight and can come off as well. So, yeah, maybe. Let's do that, I guess. Yep. We'll do them. Couple of cuts. Right. So like I said, that one there at the back, that goes into the bin. Alright. That's going to have to go. It's way too long, but I might be able to, it's quite flexible, so I might be able to shape it. So we'll leave it for the minute. The other one that I want to get for sure out of is this one at the back here. So that whole branch there can come off. That's too dead straight. And I think we can do better. So we're just gonna cut that right back. See, again, doesn't probably be another nice tree. You know, this one's got some taper, but I've got too much. Can't do it. Just can't have it. Yeah, I was saying about the person was saying, looking at my tree, and he was commenting on he liked the what I had left, but at every cut, everything I threw away was more potential trees that he was like, oh, what are you doing? But yeah, I've got so much, and as I said to her, I commented to him, my wife will kill me. I reckon she'll divorce me if I keep just collecting jade. I've got to draw a line for harmony's sake. Alright, now what have we got now with that? I think it's got some potential there now as a nice little tree. I might taper that one, or maybe underwards. I'll taper it downwards. I think that might be better. I also like trying to incorporate the wounds into the tree at times. Sometimes I like them just to heal as nice as they can and not be too indented into the tree. But other times, I've got one or two trees where I've purposely kept it wet so that it rots and I can dig it out easier, and I make it into a rural concave and really give the tree some different character, like as if maybe a lightning strike had hit it and just caved it out. But I don't know if that's what I'm going to do with this one. One good thing about the jade is I can let it heal over and then I can recut it again and do that. So yeah, so I'm thinking I'm liking that. I can see some bits that will have to go, like this bottom bit here, bottom dweller. Don't have bottom dwellers. Right, get rid of that. And now it's just a matter of refining and trimming away at it. And I think, like, you know, like that might be nice. Keep that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that little bit and keep that bit. This bit here is a bit straight, so that might have to go altogether. But again, it's flexible. I might be able to bend it into something. So I'm not going to make the decision straight away. I like to look at it, think about it, and then decide. Give it a bit of time, bit of thought. Look at it repeatedly and try and see the best I can do for it. But yeah, there you go. I reckon that's nice. That's a nice little tree in the future. I mean, we're talking like 5-10 years before this is a nice little tree. But hey, you know, it's got the potential of being a nice little tree. Oh, actually, I might cut that. I was going to cut that one off. We'll do that. Okay, there we go. See, I reckon that's better. Giving it a nice little cut like that will help give it a taper instead of being a knob, a big end knob like that. Sometimes you got to have that, sometimes you don't. But there you go. Now I think also I might also need to do the same with this one. Cut it down on an angle as well. I just like it. Just don't know if it's the right move, 100%. You know, but I think it is. What do I know? I'm just trying to do what I think is good, and that's all I can do. We're going to cut it this way. And I'll cut it through there like this. Alright. Nice little wedge taken off of there. So, from that to that. And there we go. So, that's going to be it for this one. I'll refine, I'll trim up further as I think about it. I mean, I can see there's these ones here you probably go because they're all straight up growth. Get rid of them. But I've got to wait a week, a few days to a week for that to dry out. So I've got plenty of time to just look at it over and repeatedly look at it and think about what I want to do with it. There you go. There's another tree. That's a nice one. I like that one. I might, looking at it, I may have to trim this down further anyway because otherwise I get reverse taper, which is fat, skinny fat, and you're not meant. You know, it's got to go from fat to skinny, and this is making this tree look fat up high when the base of the tree should be the fattest point. So, yeah, I think I'll have to trim that down further anyway, just so I can get the right dimensions that the tree needs. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Another nice one. We'll put that aside. Let it dry out. And the last one that I think's got some potential is this piece here. Real potential. I mean, there's plenty of other pieces there that probably have got some potential, but I think if I could maybe do that with it, cut the base so it's going to be on this sort of an angle, and have that as a nice little tree, that could work. I'm probably looking at this and making some decisions that someone else would go, that would look so good as a cascade, but I don't like cascades. I'm not very good at them, so I probably should do one just to get better at it, I guess, but I don't like them. So I'm thinking what I just looked at might be good. We're going to cut it through here. Cut it through here. Okay, now that we got it a bit smaller, a bit more manageable to hold, I think I do like the idea of angling that bottom. And having that as a little tree. Okay, so this one's going to be like that. And we'll just train it from there. And that's all we're going to do. They can go, it's downward growth. Other than that, we're done. The rest of them, it's getting late now, so I'm going to stop. And yeah, we'll just look at the other pieces and decide over time just what sort of tree they could become into. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.